Hello. I just want to go over this sheet to kind of show you what it's meaning here by sharing and grouping and the kind of two different ways to solving a division question. Let's first talk about multiplication. This will help us understand it. So if we have 5 times 2 equals 10, we know that this first number in a multiplication sentence always tells us the number of groups. And the second number always tells us how many in each group. So 5 groups of 2 equals 10 in total. Our answer is the total amount. So here I have 5 groups of 2. In this multiplication sentence, 2 times 5 equals 10. Again, the first number, 2, is the number of groups. Second number is how many in each group. So here I have 2 groups of 5 equals 10. When we're talking about division, these, we always start with our total amount. So here we're starting with our 10. Then our next number could sometimes mean the number of groups, or it could sometimes mean the number in each group. It isn't always set every single time like it is in multiplication. It would really depend on what the question is asking in the problem-solving question. If there was no problem-solving question, if it was you simply had on a page 10 divided by 2, then you could solve it either way. So for example, if I have 10 divided by 2, that means I could think of it as splitting into just 2 groups. So I'm just splitting as if I'm dealing a deck of cards. So there I have 10 divided by 2. I have 2 groups and I have 5 in each group. Or I could think of 10 divided by 2 as groups of 2. And there I have 2 groups, or 5 groups of 2. So like I said, if there's no problem-solving question going along with it, it doesn't matter which way you figure it out. It's up to you which way you prefer. Let's pretend there's some questions to go along with it, and that would tell us like what our model or a picture would look like. So Mrs. Stevenson has 10 dog treats. She divides them evenly between her 2 dogs. How many treats does each dog receive? So this is kind of like that first way I showed you. Let's pretend these are my 2 dog dishes. Okay, so there's one for that dog, one for that dog. Here, I'll put them in the dish. One for that dog. And I just, like I was saying, as if I'm dealing a deck of cards, I just keep giving them one at a time to each group until I run out. So each dog gets 5 treats. So 10 treats divided evenly between 2 dogs equals 5 treats for each dog. So in that case, it would be this picture. Okay, I might have a question that says something like, Mrs. Stevenson has 10 dog treats. She gives 2 treats to each dog. How many dogs does she have? Well, in this case, I don't know how many dishes I need. That's what I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to figure out how many dogs I have. All I know is that each dog is going to get 2 treats. So this time I'm just putting them into groups of 2. So that would be for one dog. That would be for another dog. There's 2 for a dog, 2, and 2. So here they are in groups of 2. So again, it said Mrs. Stevenson has 10 dog treats. She gives 2 treats to each dog. How many dogs does she have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I would have 5 dogs. So it'd be the same sentence, 10 treats divided into groups of 2 equals 5 groups. And so this time the picture would look like this. So you can see the difference. 2 groups of 5, 5 groups of 2. But it's the same division sentence. It just depended on the wording of the problem-solving question of how I would show my equal groups. And so, like I said, when there is no problem solving question, when it's just a simple division question alone, you get to pick the way that you like to solve it. On this sheet, they want you to do both, and that's what they're talking about by sharing and grouping. They're saying divide 10 into 2 equal groups like we did the first time, or divide 10 into groups of 2. So let's look at the next one. Divide 9 into 3 equal groups. So again, if it makes more sense to you, you could draw out 3 people, if that helps you. So divide 9 into 3 equal groups. It's like you have 9 cards and 3 players, and you're just giving each player an equal amount of cards. So each one got 1. Now each person has 2. Oops. Now each person has 3. So there are 3 in each group. 9 divided by 3 is 3. Or it says divide 9 into groups of 3. So in this case, I just go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And in this question, our pictures are going to be the same because we have 2 3s here. 9 divided by 3 is 3. But I found my answer by dividing it into 3 equal groups or groups of 3. I still found my answer in a different way. Okay, so the last one, we're starting with 12. So I'll add some marshmallows so that I have 12. So it says divide 12 into 4 groups. So again, I could have 4 people drawn if that helps me, or I don't have to. I can just start my 4 groups. So there I can see I have the start of my 4 groups, and then I just keep giving 1 to each group until I run out. So here I have 4 groups, and there's 3 in each group. So I come here, divide 12 into 4 groups. That's what my picture shows. There's 3 in each group. Then I would put that 3 in there. There are 3 in each group. Division sentence, 12 divided by 4 equals 3. Okay, or divide 12 into groups of 4. So I start with 12, and this time I just count out 4 at a time. So there's a group of 4. There's a group of 4. And there's a group of 4. So I have 3 groups of 4 this time. So divide 12 into groups of 4, that's what we did. There are 3 groups of 4, just like ours. And the same division sentence, 12 divided by 4 equals 3. So you can see here, 4 groups of 3 or 3 groups of 4. And both can be used to show that division sentence.